My dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a very good evening to all of you. I, Toastmaster Naren Yadav, welcome you to Speakers, Trainers, and Coaches Toastmasters 53rd weekly meeting. I'm your sergeant at arm today. Like every great organization has a mission statement, Toastmaster International also has one. Our mission is to provide a conducive, supportive, and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Here are some general guidelines. Ensure that you are logged in with your correct name. It will help us identify you easily. All speakers, role takers are requested to add the name of their role before their name. All the guests are requested to prefix guest before their name. Know when your camera is on and avoid doing any activity that may distract the speaker. Please mute your microphone except when your turn to speak to avoid background noises from interrupting the meeting. Please unmute your microphone and start your video when the Toastmaster of the day or the table topics master asks you to do so. Let the host and co-hosts handle all the controls. Some important guidelines. Refrain from speaking about religion, sex, and politics in a derogatory manner. Avoid interjecting the speaker when he or she is delivering a speech, evaluation, or report. Avoid conversations in chat publicly when someone is speaking, as it may distract the speaker. Please raise your hand to volunteer during table topics session to speak. Look out for the green, yellow, and red colored cards on the screen. They will be displayed by the timer at the appropriate times. At the end of every segment, please cast your ballot when the host displays the poll on the screen. So let's start our today's meeting. Theme of today's meeting is time to speak. As we are here to enhance our communication and public speaking skills, today's theme is very compelling and encouraging. So don't wait for the perfect time to speak, as this is your time to speak. Only thing you need to do is to express yourself fully. Here's a short disclaimer. We wanted to let you know that this meeting will be recorded and we may use the recording for promotional purposes, such as sharing it on our social media channels, including WhatsApp. By joining the meeting, you agree to let us use your name, voice, and image in the recording. We want to assure that your privacy is important to us, and we will only use the recording for the purposes mentioned. If you have any concerns or questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Lastly, we want to thank you for joining us today and being a part of our community. Your participation is greatly appreciated. Now let me invite the presiding officer and MC for today's meeting, Toastmaster Kahira Miyaziwala. She is a confidence coach who firmly believes that continuous learning is important in life. That's why she keeps working on herself. She is someone who is very caring, resilient, and loyal. She loves helping people. A master in HR, she had been the vice president PR of this club last year, and currently she is the president of our club. So please put your hands together and help me welcome Toastmaster Kahira.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naren, for your introduction. And I would like to welcome everyone who's here in our meeting. So we have guests, Divya, Manoj, Umar, Pranavi, Aravind, Indu, Akib, Dipesh. Welcome back, Jai. Long time. Happy to see you here. So Dipesh, since it's the first time that you're attending our meeting, we would like you to introduce yourself. So who you are, where you're from, and how you heard about our meeting. I can guess where you heard about it from, but still for the benefit of other people. Dipesh, are you there? Okay. Akib, would you be able to introduce yourself? Yeah, I think he's busy walking back home from work, so not distracted. Umar, are you busy with work, or do you have a minute to introduce yourself?
Okay, I have to introduce myself. Okay, I am a ghost riding this meat-coated skeleton, floating in this vast space, huge rock. This called Earth, and I am just an ordinary man, ordinary toastmaster for over 3 years, and immediate past Area 31 director. I happen to be. I hail from Punjab, Pakistan, and it's a pleasure to be part of this meeting. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Umar, for introducing yourself, and welcome. Welcome all our guests, and please do take part in the table topic section of our meeting, which is a part where everyone can take part in. And I'm sure Toastmaster Mansi has put in a lot of effort to create the table topics, so do take part. So today there will be 3 parts of our meeting. First is the prepared speaking segment, followed by the table topics or the impromptu speaking section, and finally the evaluation segment. Now, without further ado, let me call on the first role player to introduce his role and himself. So, Toastmaster Mario, he's our timer for the day. He is a member of 2 clubs, one in Slovenia and one in California. He's a very helpful person and has assisted many clubs in times of need, like how he is helping us today by taking up the timer role. Over to you, Toastmaster Mario.
Hold on, let me just do something here. Okay. I will be your timer for today. And we'll be displaying green, yellow, and red. 5 to 7 speeches, 5 to 7 minute speeches prepared will be green, yellow, and red. Green at 5, 6 yellow, and 7 red. Table topics, 1 minute, 1.5, and then 2, and then you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Evaluations, all but the grammarian are 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes, 2.5, and then 3. And then I don't know if you have a grammarian, but you usually have 3 to 4 minutes. Again, 3 minutes, 3.5, and then 4. Back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mario, for introducing your role. And we will not be having a grammarian in today's meeting. However, we do have an active listener who will take max of 5 minutes. And we have a table topics evaluator whose total time will also be 5 minutes. All right. Now I would like to introduce our next role player for the day, who is Toastmaster Ruby, who's playing the role of active listener. So Ruby wears many hats. She's a trained corporate marketer and has a footprint in multiple segments. Over to you, Toastmaster Ruby.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kahira. As the active listener, my role today is to ensure all of us are listening through the meeting. Being a good listener is as important as being a good speaker. As the listener, I will note down interesting bits of conversation and information from each of the speakers and ask questions towards the end of the meeting to see if everyone was paying attention. Over to you, Toastmaster Kahira. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruby. Now I would like to call on our Zoom master to say hi to everybody. So Zoom master, can you spotlight yourself for everybody? So our Zoom master for the day is Toastmaster Naren. He's an experienced life transformation coach, growth strategist, author, speaker, and change maker. Toastmaster Naren, would you like to speak about the power you have today?
I am the most powerful person today. I have all the power to add, remove anybody's spotlight. If I see any disciplinary issue, I can remove you from the meeting. So be careful. Let us make this a wonderful session and a memorable one.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Naren. Now we are starting the prepared speech segment. So Aditya, Toastmaster Aditya and Toastmaster Nupur, I hope you're ready. So first I would like to call our evaluator.
Oh,
As
what
Kyra
happened?
What,
frozen,
so I
or is it
think,
my
yeah, I think,
Kyra is frozen?
I think that's,
Madam
Frozen.
President has disappeared.
oh, she's there back.
She has become a ghost, I think. Huh?
No, she's back.
So guys, my electricity has gone, so that's why I look like a ghost. Toastmaster Aditya, he's our evaluator 1. He's a student of metaphysical sciences and is currently pursuing his PhD. He is also a coach and fashion designer. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditya.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. I'm the evaluator for Nupur's speech. Nupur is a corporate professional turned into a transformational mindset coach, trainer, and mentor. She's also an author, podcaster, writer in life lessons, and also a YouTuber. Nupur would be delivering her L1 P2 speech, writing a speech with a purpose, and her pathways is presentation mastery. So Nupur Bartwal, speech title is Face Your Fear and the Fear Disappears. Nupur Bartwal, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. What is your biggest fear, if I ask all of you? Anyone would like to share? What is your biggest fear?
Fear of unknown.
Great.
Fear of failure.
Losing the loved ones.
There are so many fears all around us, and I'm going to share a lot of my personal fears today. So all of you are free to share all kinds of fears. There are so many fears, like the biggest one we say is fear of public speaking, and we're acing it on this platform. Are we? Then there is another very big fear, which is the fear of not being good enough. We always keep questioning ourselves that maybe I'm not good enough. So we know that fear is part of our life, and we cannot completely eliminate it from our life. While we can't always control how we feel, we do have the power of how we think and act. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This is my level 1 second speech. Now, if we don't face our fear and make them disappear, they can hold us back from living the life we really want to live. I remember when I was in second standard, we had a subject called dictation, where we had this orange small booklet called Spell Well, which had all the complicated words meant for a second standard child. And in one of the classes, my teacher made me stand to spell this word called mountain. And of course, I fumbled and misspelled. And my classmates, they laughed at me. And to top it all, my teacher yelled at me, calling me a stupid, silly girl. Remember, in our times, teachers had the liberty of yelling and at times caning you. Today, we don't have these luxuries. Yeah. So I had to go through all this. Now, this fear of being laughed at stayed with me for many, many years. Despite being a good student, I turned into a backbencher because I was always trying to hide behind the crowd. To the extent that when I topped my university, My professors had no inkling of my existence. They had no clue whether I existed because I never participated in any of the Q&As. And very clearly, I remember while handing over my medal, my HOD looked straight into my eyes and said, "Girl, get over this fear. Otherwise, this fear will completely overpower you." Now, had I faced this fear, maybe it would have disappeared. But I continued living in my comfort zone of fear because it was quite comfortable hiding behind the crowd. Which, when I look back, I feel it might have snatched many opportunities from me without even me realizing it. The good news is that we are not born with these fears. These fears are learned over the years. We keep picking up through our life situations and happenings. So therefore, it can be unlearned by facing it and challenging it repeatedly until it actually disappears. It's not the fear that holds us back. It's an illusion that we fabricate in our minds and pretend to be real. It's a fairy tale we keep telling ourselves from doing what we really want to do. And that is why, my friends, it's called FEAR, which is false evidence appearing real. So whenever you find yourself worrying, stressed, questioning your potential, remember that FEAR is getting the best of you. And the good news is that you can win over this FEAR. And for that, there is a very simple formula, which is try plus learn plus adapt plus try is equal to success. Or who knows, it might just be try is equal to success. But one thing is for sure, you will only have actual evidence of something once you do that try thing. If you don't try, nothing will move. We also know that it's not easy to face and push through fears, but it is the necessity. It's very essential. How many of you know that Mahatma Gandhi had extreme public speaking fear? How many of you know? You know, he used to get severe panic attacks during his student life. And this continued in his professional life as well, to the extent that as a lawyer, he was scared of crowds and he ran away from the court on his first case presentation because he could not come up with one single question to ask. But today, it is much easier to overcome this fear of public speaking because we have platforms like Toastmasters, where you get to face your fear in a very non-judgmental and caring environment. So if you join this platform, you can get over your fear. There are so many people who have fear of height. I had extreme fear of height, but I had to face it while on my visit to Switzerland because I was supposed to go to Mount Titlis in a revolving cable car. And Mount Titlis, we all know, is 10,000 feet height. So I faced it. And also, you'll be surprised to know, Indian actor Ajay Devgan, who is known to do all these fearless stunts, has extreme height phobia. So a lot of people have fear of water, fear of staying alone at night. This is my favorite because I've tried this. Try staying alone for a day or two. Put on lights and music and keep your nerves calm. Watch comedy, pick up a nice book before going to bed. What will this book do? It will take you to a different illusionary world, which will be far, far away from your fear. So when faced with fear, what would you like to do? Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise? Ask yourself. Remember, the choice is always in your hand as it is your life, and no one's coming to hold you, my friend, or to save you. I would like to end my speech with this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who says, "He who is not every day conquering some fear has not learned the secret of life." So let's conquer our fear. Over to you, Toastmaster Kyra. Thank you. My God, this red card was quite scary. Thank you.
Good job, Toastmaster Nupur.
Thank
Now
you.
I would like you to take over as evaluator 1,
know.
evaluator 2, and introduce Aditya.
Okay. So I'm the evaluator for speaker 2, with who's Toastmaster Aditya. Aditya is a student of metaphysical science and is pursuing his PhD. He's extremely talented, extremely intelligent. He's also a coach and a fashion designer. His pathway is effective coaching, and the project he's taken is level 2, speech 2, understanding your communication style. His speech title is Breaking Barriers and Building Bridges. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditya, Breaking Barriers and Building Bridges.
Thank you so much, Nupur. Am I audible to everyone? Thank you so much. Thank you. Imagine yourself as a boss and you want to communicate to your employee to finish a report by tomorrow. Now, depending on your communication style, how would you do that? Suppose you have a supporting style of communication, you would probably say, I'm here to remind you that you need to finish the report by tomorrow. What can I do to support you in getting it finished? If you have an initiating style of communication, you would say, start working on the report now so you can make sure it's completed by tomorrow. In an analytical style, we would probably say, based on our timeline, it's important that the report is finished by tomorrow. What steps do you need to take to ensure you meet the deadline? And in a direct communication style, we would say, I need the report finished by tomorrow. Please prioritize it and get it done. Obviously, there are many more ways to communicate the same thing, but today we are broadly looking at 4 major communication styles: supporting, initiating, analytical, and direct. We all are shaded with all styles of communication, but there's always one style that stands out depending on our personality. We can obviously develop other styles as per our needs because one style is not enough to counter different situations of life. Do you think one style of communication is good enough in all situations of life? If yes, leave it in the comment. I personally find myself having a supporting communication style, although I find myself using all styles of communication in various degrees, depending on the situation, as I mentioned before. But there have been a few events in my life that have shaped my style of communication. When I was in college, I interned in a call center where the work was very fast-paced and often very stressful. We had to handle large volume of calls, often from customers who were frustrated or upset. I remember one day when a co-worker of mine was having a particularly very difficult time. She had just gotten off the phone call with a customer who was extremely angry and abusive towards her. She was very upset and literally on the verge of tears. Our team leader, who was known for her supportive style of communication, immediately came over and sat down with my co-worker. She asked her that what had happened and listened attentively as she vented out about the difficult call. She validated her emotions and told her that she had done an excellent job in handling the situation. She offered her support and encouragement, telling her that she was a valuable member of the team and that her work was appreciated. The impact of our team leader's supportive communication was profound. My co-worker immediately calmed down and was able to get back to work feeling much more positive and empowered. She felt supported and valued by our team leader, and this had a ripple effect on the rest of the team. We all felt connected and motivated to work together towards our goals. This was one early event in my life which shaped my style of communication. Sometimes I find myself using an analytical style of communication where I'm taking crucial business decisions. Let's say I'm discussing a business problem with a colleague and they suggest a solution that I'm not sure will work. My analytical response might sound something like this. I appreciate your suggestion. I can see why you think it might work. However, I'm not sure that it addresses the root cause of the problem. According to the data we collected, this issue seems to be related to some other factor entirely. I think it might be worth exploring some alternative solutions that addresses the underlying cause rather than just treating the symptoms. What do you think? In this response, I try to acknowledge my colleagues' input, but also present a counter argument based on data and evidence. I'm not dismissing the suggestion outright, but rather proposing an alternative approach that is backed by logical reasoning and analysis. When attending events, I found myself initiating and supporting style of communication is extremely beneficial. Let me again give you an example. Imagine yourself in a networking event and you notice someone standing alone in a corner. You take the initiative to start a conversation by introducing yourself, asking about their business, and sharing some information about your own. By using a supportive communication style, you can create a safe and supportive environment where the person feels valued and heard. This can help to build rapport and trust, which can lead to a future collaboration of business opportunities. Another example of supporting communication came from a friend. A few months ago, my friend had a disagreement with his partner. They were both feeling very frustrated and upset, and the conversation quickly escalated into an argument, which happens to a lot of us. However, instead of getting defensive and lashing out, my friend took a supportive communication approach. He listened to his partner's concern, validated her emotions, even though he did not agree with her perspective. He offered her support and reassurance, telling her that he valued their relationship and was committed to working through their differences. Communication is an integral part of our lives. Learning to do it effectively can surmount to huge success in life. I personally like a quote by Peter Drucker on effective communication, in which he says, "The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said." The quote emphasizes the importance of active listening and paying attention to non-verbal cues in effective communication. It is not just about the words that are spoken, but the underlying message and the emotions that are conveyed. Another famous quote by George Bernard Shaw is, "The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place." This quote highlights the common issue of assuming that the communication has occurred when it hasn't. Effective communication requires not only sending a message, but also ensuring that it has been received and understood by the intended recipient. My intention to deliver the speech today is to make you aware of your communication style. If you don't already know it, you may introspect your own way of addressing people, and you can improve on that. To make it more effective, before I conclude, I want to leave you with a simple question. Can you change your life with the way you communicate? Think over it. Bye, and over to you.
Good job, Aditya. Let me just spotlight myself. Thank you, Naren, for spotlighting me. Now we've reached the table topic segment of our meeting, which is the part where everyone should, raise their hands and ask to be chosen to give a speech. But before I introduce our table topic master, I would like to introduce our table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay. Over to you, Toastmaster Vijay. So Toastmaster Vijay has been a teacher for a really long time, and she's a doting mother, and she's a very knowledgeable person and someone who we all go to for guidance. So over to you, Toastmaster Vijay.
Welcome everyone to the Toastmasters session, and I'm sure it's going to be a very, very interesting one, because Toastmaster Table Topics Master Mansi, I'm sure, has laid out a wonderful array of table topics to enthuse and hold our attention and give us an opportunity to express different ways of looking at that problem. So, where's our table topics master?
Thank you,
She's
Toastmaster
right.
Vijay. And yeah,
Yeah, over
Kahira,
to you,
would you
Mansi.
like
Yeah.
Toastmaster
good.
Kahira, would you like to speak first?
Yeah, if possible. So Toastmaster Vijay will be evaluating all the speakers and making notes, and she will give her report about each speaker towards the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi, who is our table topic master of the day and who's a very enthusiastic person, is very creative, and she comes up with very different ideas for every time she takes up the table topic master. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kahira, for giving me this list of the energy I know. So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. My role today is just like that air hostess who's going to serve you with different flavors of topics. You're going to pick one and talk about it. And I would like to encourage the guests to please speak up, come up over the stage and express your thoughts. I already see 3 people who have their hands up. We have Toastmaster Divya, Toastmaster Saurav, and our timer. I guess timer Mario, you are a volunteer as well, or you've just raised your hand because you are a timer?
The latter.
Okay, so we have 3 people. What I'm going to do today is we have a quick game round where we have topics, but the topics will be taken care by 2 people, 2 groups. One will be the truth group, the other will be the dare group. So the dare group is going to cook up a story based on the topic, while the truth one is going to tell the true stories they have or whatever first comes to their mind. So that is speaking from your own experiences, the truth one. The dare ones have to make it up. So I need 3 more people to volunteer. Yeah, I have Toastmaster Ruby. You wanna go for dare? Quick. Toastmaster Ruby for dare. Toastmaster Divya, truth. Toastmaster Saurav is again truth because you were the ones to volunteer first. Then I'll keep Toastmaster Mario in dare. 2 more, quick. Okay, I have guest Toastmaster Manoj. I'll keep you in dare. And 1 more, Toastmaster and our Zoom master. I'm sorry, who's the Zoom master today?
Naren.
Naren. So Toastmaster Naren, you are in truth. Now, quickly, let's just dive into our topics. First goes Toastmaster Saurav. Toastmaster Saurav, you are in truth.
Okay.
Toastmaster speaker, you have to speak about the topic. When was the last time your mom told you, let's speak? Toastmaster Saurav, your topic is, when was the last time your mom told, let's speak?
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. Although the topic looks very simple, but if it is my life, it's totally opposite. I am a mama's boy. I am very talkative, and it happens very rare that we don't speak. So probably I'll go against the topic, and I'll share an incident when I had to stop a conversation because it was way too much. So it is this weekend only when me and my mom were sitting and having a cup of tea together. We discussed way too many things. And at a point of time, I realized that she is getting worried about a lot of things in life. If I go out of the topic for a few minutes, and if I tell a quick retrospection of all that I have learned in life so far, I would say by worrying more, we don't solve a problem. Indeed, if we accept all the problems of life with a smile, we get more energy and more ideas to solve the problem. So back to the original story. While having that discussion with my mom, I had to stop her at a point of time, giving the same reason that let's forget about all the problems or tensions in the mind. Let's think about what has happened good. Let's find out some more power within ourselves, and let's try to face the problems with more energy, with more motivation, with more hopes. That's how I ended that discussion. And with all due respect to Table Topic Master, it's not me, my mom, it's me. And she didn't say, let's talk. Rather, I said, let's stop the discussion because it was going into wrong direction with more demotivation. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh, for that wonderful story. Let's move to the dare side of our guests today and our Toastmasters. I have Toastmaster Ruby, who had volunteered. So, Toastmaster Ruby, your topic is clarity is in thoughts. Toastmaster Ruby, your topic is clarity is in thoughts.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Mansi. Do you think clarity is in thoughts? Do you really believe clarity is in thoughts? I always believed clarity is how the other person presents the facts to you and how what kind of story that other person builds around the facts, the so-called facts, and that becomes facts in your mind. If the story built up by the other person is compelling enough, you will end up believing that as fact. And we have seen this happen time and again. If someone comes and builds a fantastic story about how painful their, let's say, childhood was and what kind of struggling life they had, they will have all your sympathies. You will end up giving them that kind of cushion to go ahead in life. And then suddenly you might end up landing up at their house and see how sheltered and how well groomed life they had. It's just because they presented to you with so-called facts, you took it up, and that is the clarity you had in your mind because that is the story that was presented to you. On the other hand, if someone said, okay, so I had a bad childhood and everything I managed on my own, you might actually not end up believing that person, thinking this guy is trying to take an upper hand. But actually, when you delve deeper and maybe go into this person's childhood and check out how this childhood, how this person was as a child and how he or she grew up in life, you will actually see the kind of struggle this person went through. So therefore, clarity is not in the fact. If you ask me, clarity is in how you present the fact. Thank you so much, Timer, and thank you so much, TM. Over to you, TM Mansi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruby, for sharing this story. I really don't know. The beauty of storytelling is you've cooked it out. That's what we are claiming right now. Let's move to the next topic, which will be towards the truth side. And the next volunteer is Toastmaster Divya. Toastmaster Divya, your topic is, have you ever truly loved someone? Toastmaster Divya, your topic is, have you ever truly loved someone?
Toastmasters and all the guests. Now I'm going to talk about have I ever truly loved someone. Yes, from my birth. When even in my mother's womb, inside my mother's womb, I'm attached to my mother, I think so. Maybe I would have attached to my mother. All the babies are like that only. So that is my first love inside my mother's womb. Next, I loved many human beings like mother, father, and also the best part in my life is the love over my puppy. That is the best part in my life because my parents are working. Both are working parents, both father and mother. I used to spend lot of time with my puppy. It's like I'll speak everything, whatever I want, I'll speak, and it will also respond to me. Like it can't talk, but it will give the vibes that I'm there with you. I'm always will be there with you. It will give me that vibe. And also, whenever I'm feeling low, it will come near me and it will just pat me, using its head. It will do like this. That will be like a mother's touch. So I felt that mother's touch in my puppy, through my puppy. And also while going out, while I'm taking my puppy outside, it will be very small puppy only. All the whenever the stray dogs are barking at me, it will be like a lion. My puppies will be like a lion. I saw my father's protection in my puppy. Then, as a friend, it is a good listener. As a friend, it is a good listener. I used to um, blabber whatever I want, and it is also a very possessive kid like a baby. So this is the perfect love which can give all kind of love. Thank you, Toastmasters. Thank you, guest.
Thank you, Toastmaster Divya, for sharing your first love and how you fell in love with it. Now I would like to call up on stage Toastmaster Mario, who's going to take the side of the dare today. And Toastmaster Mario, your topic for today is war is a choice. Toastmaster Mario, your topic is war is a choice.
War is a choice. You can have many siblings in life. One sibling, a brother or a sister, two siblings, which already creates a 4 in the family. If you're missing a parent, that's 3. You can have 2 siblings and a parent, which is again 4. That's a choice. You can have 3 other friends in school. That's a choice, makes you 4. A 4 can be represented in many ways. Let's say sports, where you play doubles, 2 pairs each. That's a 4. That's also a choice. 4, when you're playing golf and you yell 4, people duck. That's a choice. 4 can also be used as a preposition when you're doing something for someone. 4 comes in many shapes and sizes, F-O-R-E, F-O-U-R, or just F-O-R. Depends on the context. But at the end of the day, it's just a choice. Back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mario, for throwing your light over and making up a story. Hopefully that's the dare you've taken up. Let's move to Toastmaster Nareen. Toastmaster Nareen, you belong to truth category today, and that's one group. So your topic, are you ready, Toastmaster Nareen? Can't see.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sure.
So
Thank you.
I just need half a minute to explain me truth and dare concept once.
You want me to explain the concept?
Truth and dare, what exactly?
Oh, so you are going to speak about the truth of your life based on the topic which is given.
Okay.
So Toastmaster Nareen, your topic is speak what is never told. Toastmaster Nareen, your topic is speak what is never told.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mansi. Speak what is never told. I just remember what Toastmaster Aditya spoke about this Peter Drucker quote, the effectiveness of communication is to listen to what is not told. And that is already there with me. I think it is inbuilt in me. I listen what is not told, And I also try to speak as much as possible, something novel, something new, something unique. Like I remember in my office, we have our managing director, and he is very bossy. He's very authoritative, and he doesn't care if what is the feelings and what is going on inside the organization. He doesn't mind, and nobody uh, tries to tell him what he is, how he is, and then what is the impact of his behavior in the organization. And that is very, very crucial for an organization, because the top down communication and the culture, everything is impacted. And when I joined this organization, I felt this, and being an HR professional, I see the impact, and I went there. I had a very, very straight talk with him. I told him, if we continue doing what is happening, then it is very, very detrimental, and we must correct this. And this is the voice of employee. I want you to consider this. This will help, and it will definitely create a better culture in the organization. Nobody talked to him like that, and he acknowledged it. I was not aware of it, and thank you so much for bringing it to me, and I will consider it, and I'll take care of it. And I'm feeling very happy about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naren, for your truth, and it's always daring to speak truth. So let's get into the mode of dare to speak the lie, and we have our guest Toastmaster Manoj in the meeting. Toastmaster Manoj, your topic for today is wise people speak with mind, fools speak with mouth. Your topic is wise people speak with mind, fools speak with mouth.
It's a cliche that we have heard often. There are many a slip between the cup and the lips. And that is the slip you find between mind and your mouth. It's not everybody's cup of tea to speak the truth. It requires real courage, courage of conviction, and courage of self-belief. Not everybody can become a Mahatma Gandhi. The naked fakir holding a stick in his hand was able to dethrone the 200 years of colonialism from India. So that makes a difference between a wise person and a foolish person. Most often you find people wearing different masks. Wearing different masks, we often forget, we stifle our own self and forget who we really are. At the age of 54, 55, I am finding for last 55 years ensconced on the lap of Mother Earth, rotating around sun. I've forgotten who I am. Suddenly I'm trying to delve within to discover myself. Don't you think it sounds very, very funny? Somebody's trying to discover himself. Yes, that makes the difference between your mind and your mouth. There are a lot of distance, miles together. It will be North Pole and South Pole, the distance between your mouth and the mind. Mind thinks who you really are. It's the man in the mirror that you find, and mind projects that man in the mirror. But mouth, it changes from place to place, situation to situations, from person to person. So doing this like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, we often model ourselves. So let's try to be ourselves, be in our mind. Thank you. Over to you, TTM.
Thank you, guest and Toastmaster Manoj. So I'd like to move ahead with the last topic for today. And any volunteer, this time no truth there, you can speak anything you want. I have an extra topic. Toastmaster
Saurav.
Nadia.
Saurav is there.
Who's there? Saurabh, would you like to reattempt the topic? Sure. Go ahead with.
Mansi, I think you should ask someone from the audience if they can give it. I hope you understand, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Yes, yes.
Toastmaster Nadia, would you like to go ahead? I see
Yes,
you. Toastmaster Nadia, your topic is life isn't about talking. Life isn't about talking. Toastmaster Nadia.
Hello everyone, thank you for the topic, Mansi. Life is about talking, interesting. First of all, it's so easy to talk to anybody when we meet, say a hi, say a hello. But when it comes to talking to yourself, talking to truth, knowing yourself, you always find a challenge. So me as a teacher, busy with my life, busy with all the, working around things and all. Sometimes I forget, being a mom, I forget what's next in my life. So it took me quite a while to understand, yes, after children, after a family, after an education, after all the work I go through, what I have never asked a question, I've never spoken to myself, looking at the mirror, and understanding what do I need for myself in the next 15 or 20 years, just a small talk. So once my dad asked, once you're 50 or you're 60, Nadia, what do you think you want to talk, be there? So I told Dad, I have no idea. So I think that day made me realize that it's extremely important for me to actually talk to myself and ask those simple questions. What do I need out of me? And I think that made me realize, yes, I've got some hobbies, I've got some dreams, I've got some things I want to achieve in life. And so I think those little thoughts. So my dad, he's 70, and he is a lovely singer, and he says, at my point of this particular age, I have a little hobby I enjoy. What are you going to do, say at that particular age? So I think talking to yourself, looking at the mirror, and having those conversations are very important. So yeah, so thank you, for giving me the opportunity. So over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nadia and guest. I mean, I'm good and glad that you've taken up the role even after calling on impromptu, and that's the whole intent of my role. Without you, I wouldn't have been fulfilled. I mean, the role. Thank you, everyone, and Toastmasters. I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Kyra and to take the meeting ahead.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. Now I'll be launching a poll of best table topic speaker. So take 5 seconds to vote. 1, 2. I hope everyone can see.
My name's missing.
I had put it in. If anyone wants to vote for Ruby, message Toastmaster Nupur directly, please. Everyone's done. Unfortunately, Naren, you and Nupur won't be able to vote. So y'all can maybe, you can send your vote to Nupur. Nupur, do you have the results written down? All right.
Yes, I do.
So I have another poll which is coming up right now, which is the best speaker poll, which I missed doing earlier in the meeting. I hope you all can see. Toastmaster Nupur, have you written down the
Yes,
results?
yes.
All right. Now I have a guest who's going to come and tell us what the structure of a table topics is supposed to be like. So Toastmaster Umar, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaira, Madam President. So what is table topics all about? It's about impromptu speaking. And to never forget that it's a speech. And what is speech all about? It should have an opening, it should have a body, it should have a conclusion. So it's very easy, but what is the challenge? Topic will be given to you on the spot. So how should we open the table topic? Ask a question, maybe share an imaginary kind of a story. Okay, if it has up to imagine you are there, some kind of a hook should be there. It should not like I love this thing and I should like do like this. No, try to be creative with your openings. What should be in the body? There are two things that you can add. You can have a story. What is the character? How you can identify a story from an example? Story should have a characters. They should have a dialogue, conversation, or you can share an example of your life. Okay, this thing happened in me in the office. Now, when you are sharing an example, it doesn't have to be a story. You can give an example from, oh, I achieved that thing or something. I had that failure. So that should be the body. What should be the conclusion? Can anybody guess what should be the conclusion? What is the idea of a conclusion?
Summary. Summing up.
Yes, you have to summarize what you have thought. See, a speech is all about what you are going to say. You say it, and what you have said, you have to repeat it. It's all about future, present, and then past. So in conclusion, you have what you have said in the past, you have to summarize it. Don't bring into new ideas, new thoughts, new additional things. Just be crack to the point, have a callback, round over, summarize, or maybe connect to the opening and conclude it in an effective and precise way. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes. Do an excellent job. Over to you, Toastmaster Kaira.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar, for very last minute agreeing to do this for us. Now I would like to call our evaluator 1, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Nupur, to give his report.
Thank you, Tahira. Purpose of Nupur's speech was writing a speech with a purpose. So she has not only written a speech with a purpose, she has actually delivered it beautifully as well. The purpose was very clear from the title of the speech, which was Face Your Fear and the Fear Disappears. So it was very clear to the audience that what she wanted to say. And in her speech, she laid out with examples, with a personal example of how she was scolded by the teacher and how she developed that fear, which also shows that how one actually developed the fears, the kind of experiences one happened, which takes place in life, and how she came out of the fear because she faced it. So she gave a personal example. She also gave an example of Mahatma Gandhi, in which she brought out a fact which I didn't know, and I was startled by the fact that he was really scared of speaking in public. All in all, I would say Nupur spoke with a lot of poise in her speech. She had a beautiful ingredient of actually explaining the entire title of her speech with examples, with a lot of clarity she spoke. Few things which I can recommend to Nupur is that you can add more vocal variety to your speech. You can add a little bit of more gestures to the speech. With the content part, it is all sorted because I think it was absolutely clear to the audience what you wanted to say. Another suggestion is that I wasn't very clear as to how does one actually, come out of the fear. You could have elaborated on that point a little more, I felt. Another thing was that it was very evident, that you were reading from your laptop screen. So maybe, you could actually be more deceptive or actually avoid it totally so that it comes out more naturally, So sometimes it had the character of being read out in between. There was a character of it being read out. So I would recommend you to sort of note down the points and, you can elaborate seeing the points. That's how usually the speakers usually do. Otherwise, all in all, a great speech. I think I have learned a lot from your speech. And over to you, Kyle.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya, for evaluating Toastmaster Nupur's speech. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Nupur to evaluate Toastmaster Aditya's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Nupur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaira. And thank you so much for this feedback. Aditya, I have taken down all the points which you've mentioned. Anyway, coming back to your speech, Aditya is like, it's always a pleasure listening to him. It's the first thing that you notice is how calm he is. As a presenter, he's so calm and his composure is like a Buddha, and it's always, his presentations are so well prepared and presentation is like extremely, very, very soothing. And his topic was breaking barriers and building bridges and understanding your communication style. So his strength is his calm and composure. He started with a nice smile, which he always does. And he's been making very good speeches. He's a good speaker, very good presenter. All these are very, very big plus points. Though I feel that he needs to have little more eye contact and little more, he needs to work on his body language, because there are some times when you feel completely disconnected with him. And his content was amazing. It's just that I personally felt, had you put some live examples, because you were talking about effective communication, it would have been more meaningful. Otherwise, your presentation was very good, and your speech is excellent as usual. And you, again, there's another little feedback is that at times I feel there was requirement of voice modulation. At times it was just going flat. So, but nevertheless, listening to you is always a treat, Aditya. You're a great speaker, great presenter, I would say. Yeah. Over to you, TM, Toastmaster Kaira.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nupur, for evaluating Toastmaster Aditya. Now, Toastmaster Vijay, it's your turn to take over as the table topic evaluator.
Yeah. Speaking on your, thinking on your feet and speaking is a challenge in itself for all the table topic speakers, but I think it's a bigger challenge for the table topics evaluator to remember what everyone had said and kind of, and then ruminate on it. So I don't know how far I will do justice to this, but I will try. Itself, Mansi had given a very, very unique, idea of truth and dare. So beginning with Shaurabh, I think he flipped the topic rather than actually, because I think he was in truth and started speaking about his mother. And I think later he kind of, he flipped the topic and spoke about how she needs to stop worrying because he was a concerned son. So I appreciate that, the concern of a son for a mother, and to help her allay her fears and, unnecessary worries, as all mothers are apt to indulge in unnecessarily. So he said, face everything, face all your problems with hope and energy and motivation. I think that was a very, very powerful message that he gave. So that was the plus point. What he can improve, of course, was that instead of flipping the story, he could have continued in the way that topic had to be addressed. But then that does not detract from his speech. He did show a lot of energy and a lot of, expressions in his face. Plus, coming to Ruby's topic, I think, was a fabulous one, that clarity is in thoughts, and she demolished that argument tooth and nail. She drove into that. So kudos to you, Ruby. I love the way you pinpointed, the childhood examples, and how sometimes the stories we give may not be really true, but we do make up these stories to get the sympathy of others. And it's for us not to be taken in by the sob story. I mean, I myself have been a victim of that many a time, a lot of empathy and a lot of sympathy. And then I find that it is all BS. It's not really there. So tortured childhood, sometimes misrepresented to get sympathy and empathy. And she drove the point thoroughly. She she hit the nail on its head, so to say. Ruby, more expression on your face, and again, your body language. I know it's just a small little screen, but that has room for improvement. Divya, I loved your story. The way you interpreted it was so simple and so beautiful. The mother's womb is the first love of every child. And then your parents, and then the puppy love in the true, genuine sense, not the infatuation as we normally refer to puppy love, but what a puppy represents in your life. The mother's, the ministering of the mother with the paw, and the father's protective instinct, the friends, listening to you, and being possessive like a baby. I had a dog, I remember, and I know they're extremely possessive. And there was this sofa where my husband would sit. And if anyone came and sat in that sofa, he would literally, shoo him out and sit down over there. So they are very possessive and very protective. And I think you brought that, you drove that point in with great intensity and great love for your puppy. What do you, I think, again, it's body language, a little bit of gestures. You've got a very expressive face, Divya, but we couldn't see any movements with your hands. Use your hands. A little bit of your gestures would do a world of good for you. Okay. Once some phone coming. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Now I'm going to launch the best evaluator poll.
It's done, Kyra.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Nupur. So next, I would like to call the timer to give his report. Toastmaster Mario, over to you.
Here are the times. So far, everybody was within time except for the second speaker, Aditya. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. Table topics were all in the clear. Evaluators were also in the clear. Sorry for the helicopter in the background. I don't have any conclusive data for the table topics evaluation because of the disruption. She went over time, normally speaking, and she was 4 out of 7 speakers done when the 5-minute mark was reached. That's all for me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mario. Next, I would like to call in our active listener for the day, Toastmaster Ruby.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kahira. Now is my chance to check out how active you people were as a listener. Okay, my first, the ground rules are, how much time do I have first?
You have a total of 5 minutes.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll go for 10 questions, 30 seconds each. So the way we will go is, once we put up a question, please raise your hands, and the first one to raise hand goes for the answer. Okay, my first question is, what is the pathway of Nupur's presentation? What is the name of the pathway? Mario, I'm discounting you. I am assuming that that's the timer hand raise. Anyone? Yes, Aditya, please. You can't be saying this. You evaluated her. You had it written on your face. You're out of this question, and so is Nupur. Anyone else, please? Okay, Aditya, we give it to you. Come, let us know.
Presentation mastery.
Totally. Now, my second question is, what, according to Nupur, is the biggest fear that she faces or used to face? And Nupur is out of this questioning session. She can't be responding. Yes, Naren.
Fear of public speaking.
Totally. Awesome. The third question is, what was this subject that Nupur had talked about as in her childhood experience, and which class was she in at that point in time? And what was the particular word she talked about? There are 3 parts to the question, and one has to get all the 3 right. Guest Manoj, please go ahead. Manoj, have you unmuted yourself? I can't hear you.
Sorry, I didn't get that. It was
Okay.
by mistake, the hand went up. I do not know the answer.
Yeah,
Okay, no worries.
can I attempt that? I've come back on my mobile.
Okay, now the third question we were on, Nupur, which class was she in? What subject was she talking about? And what was the particular word that struck a fear in her mind?
I remember the spelling, spell well, it was spelling and it was mountain. I remember these 2 things, yeah.
So the word
maybe
was
class.
mountain. We got the mountain, the class, and the subject.
Spellings.
Spelling,
well.
she called it dictation.
Dictation,
Vijay,
yeah.
Vijay, you are an educator. I didn't expect this from you. And which class was she in?
3, 4 around there. I'm not very sure of the class.
Which class was she in? Hindu, it is spell B, but the subject she talked about was dictation. Apparently, that was a
Dictation.
full-time subject with her in that class.
Ruby, Aditya has been showing the number on his fingers.
Hanji Aditya, boliye. Oh, yes, I get it. Okay. So the next one is Nupur used an acronym for fear. Who can give that to me, apart from Nupur? Yes, Naren.
False evidence appearing real.
Forced evidence, I think she mentioned. Is that correct?
False.
False. False evidence. Okay, wonderful. Sorry, that my bad. Okay, now what was the level of the speech of Aditya?
Two.
Sorry, level 2? Speech?
Level 2.
Speech?
Speech 2.
Hindu, there is a level and then there's a speech also, right? Naren, you want to go ahead?
Yeah,
Ahira,
level
you are,
2,
raising
level
your hand
2,
also?
level 2
Level-
project
Yes.
2, level 2 project 2.
Kind of a little late. He's got it right, Naren. There we go. And
Cool.
next one is, what are the 4 styles of communications that Aditya mentioned and which is his dominant style? Anyone? In fact, Nupur, you can also respond to this. I don't know. Yeah, Nadia, would love to hear from you. Please tell me. Unmute yourself and let me know.
I know the second answer. He told the supportive style.
Right. And the 4 styles are
The
supportive.
other one, situational.
No, situational is a mix of all of these. He mentioned
Okay.
4 distinct styles. So that was supportive, initiating, analytical, and direct.
Okay,
Right. So it's half a question to you. Okay. My last question is, Aditya referred to 2 people. He quoted 2 people towards the end of his speech. Who are these 2 people?
I can I?
Yes,
Yeah,
please,
okay.
Naren. Naren, you seem to be getting it. Okay.
Yeah,
Here you want to go. Naren, 1 second, because Nadia is a guest. Can we maybe allow her?
No,
Nadia,
sorry,
you
that
want
was
to
by
put it?
mistake. It was by mistake.
Okay. There, on to you, Naren, please.
So Peter Drucker and George Bernard Shaw.
Totally. Thank you very much. From all what went out today, I figured that Naren must have been the most attentive listener today. Thank you so much. Over to you, Kahira.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Naren. Now I'll be launching 2 polls, one for the major role player, but first, before that, I'll be launching one for the auxiliary role players. Done. Go ahead.
I have a question. What's the function of the role player?
Sorry?
What is the function of the role player as a definition?
Would you like to share with us? Are you asking a question or?
I'm asking a question, yes. What is the definition of role player?
So basically someone who's taking up the responsibility of helping with the management of the meeting and facilitating one part of it and helping people understand their communication and better and helping them improve their speaking skills by either limiting themselves to a time listening better and all of that. Would you like to add anything to that, Mario?
No, thank you for the clarification. EMC.
Toastmaster Nupur, have you got the results?
Yes, I have.
All right. And now for the best major role player. Toastmaster Nupur, have you got it?
Yes, I've got it.
All right. Thank you everyone for voting. Now we've come to the end of the meeting. And I would like to say that I'm really grateful that all of you all, attended the meeting, because we have these meetings so that everyone learns and becomes better. And we love hosting these meetings. So we would like your feedback so that we can become even better. And don't be extremely nice and only say good things. If you all have some constructive criticism that you all would like to give us, please be free to give it so that we can come back even better. So Toastmaster Divya, you're on the top of my screen. Sorry, Naren, go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought to take a
group picture,
screenshot,
maybe,
group picture. If
Thank you,
everybody-
Toastmaster Naren. Aravind and Abhinav and Indu, would you all be able to put on your cameras? Saurabh and Mansi also.
I can put your favorite emoji.
One question, when there's a screenshot taken, are the names at the bottom also taken or just
They are. The names are also taken.
You can also remove the names if you want people to stay anonymous, or you can just keep them.
Does anyone want to remove their names, or are they fine with
I think once you remove the name, you remove the names for everyone. I don't know what's the option, but I know there's somewhere.
Yeah, but if anyone wants to remove the names, they can just leave it blank and put some funny name instead. Or they can keep the names, because I'm not really aware of how to remove names for everybody. Is everyone okay with sharing their names?
I made an example just for people to know. I just put a dot or something. This was just an example.
Cool.
If you want.
Does anyone else want to do that?
No, I'm gonna revert back. I was just giving you an example.
If the role players don't mind, they can keep their names as it is. Mansi, if you don't mind putting your name back to, because then we'll have TTM Bunny.
Sure.
All right, taking a picture in 1, 2, 3. Naren, done? All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Naren, for reminding me, because we don't want to lose any faces from here. So that we can remember every single person who's joined us. Now we would like feedback from all our guests. And as I said, constructive criticism, negative stuff is also allowed, which will help us become even better. Toastmaster Divya, you're first. Mario, I'll give you the opportunity to go as well.
Yes.
Toastmaster Divya.
Good evening. Today I enjoyed a lot in this session. Actually, I was confused in that poll, Aditya sir and also Nupur, because they both are powerful speakers. Today, I loved both their speeches. Nupur ma'am's speech is also motivating, and Aditya's speech is improving communication skills. And then I loved both the speeches. I think I'll improve my communication soon. Then table topics. Today, I'm not nervous today. While speaking, in previous sessions I was nervous, but today I'm not like that, because of the topic which they gave me, love. Actually, I need 6 to 7 minutes or 8 minutes for that topic. Even 1 hour, it's okay for me. I will speak for 1 hour. That topic is very good, and I'll enjoy the session very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. Mario, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking at the link you sent me on WhatsApp on Role Players group, that you send the agenda as a Canva picture. You can PDFy that so it's protected, like PDF or a docx. But I suggest you do the PDF version. This way you can submit it directly into the chat when somebody requests for the agenda, instead of sending a Canva where they have to open the link, and you can just submit a PNG or a PDF directly in the chat, so people have a direct access to the agenda instead of looking the Canva. And then I opened it, and in one of my browsers it said update browser, so I had to switch to another one. You lose 30 seconds in that, and you want to be consistent. Otherwise, I wasn't sure about the timing for the table topics, whether it was 3 green, 4 yellow, and 5 red, or was it 4 and then 4.5, 5 for the 3 colors. So I wasn't sure about that. Otherwise, I have no other comments. As for the interruption for the table topics, evaluator, I suggest if you have interruptions like that, just log out and log back in. It should reset the process, or close all browsers, close Zoom, and then restart it. That's my suggestion, I guess, or any other options. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mario. Much appreciated. Noor ji, Toastmaster Noor.
Yeah, I joined in late. Thank you for having me today. So I witnessed the evaluations. Evaluations were good. And the last bit of table topics, it was good as well. So one suggestion is that in Toastmasters, when you're giving a speech, you don't evaluate, right? And when you're evaluating, don't speak. Other than that, fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Noor ji. Nadia, would you like to give us feedback? We would love to hear your feedback.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity, Kyra. I thoroughly enjoyed mine. It was an impromptu. So I myself, I'm a very nervous person, so not very good public speaking. I can fake it, but personally, so I think it was a nice one for me. So thank you. I appreciate everyone's. If there's any feedback, I would love to know where I could improve. That'll be great. Thanks.
So thank you, Nadia. Toastmaster Arvind. Toastmaster Arvind, we would love to hear your feedback. Yeah, I think he's away from his PC. Toastmaster Manoj, we would love to hear your feedback.
Okay, it was nice to be here with you all today. And I loved the topics that were selected by TM Mansi. Even both the prepared speakers, it was quite a takeaway for me, the way they spoke. I, in fact, like the way Aditya explained different kind of communication with a lot of examples. And the table topic evaluator, Bejanti Bose, she was awesome, listening to all the speakers and giving up feedback. One suggestion is we need to have a language evaluator whom we call the grammarian. That becomes a base of all the Toastmaster meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. Indu, we would love to hear your feedback. Just before that, Toastmaster Nupur, are the certificates ready?
Can we just announce the names and then share the certificates on the group?
Can you share the names with me in the chat box? It would be better, however, if we have the certificates ready. It'll just take 2 seconds.
Okay.
Toastmaster Indu.
Kyra, I've given my detailed feedback in chat box. Could you just read it later? And
Sure,
kudos
sure, I
to
will.
you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So our table topic master, best table topic speaker of the day, it was Toastmaster Saurabh. I think he's left the meeting. Our best prepared speaker was Aditya. Nupur, who was the best evaluator?
Best evaluator was also Aditya. Most effective listener was Naren. And best auxiliary role player was Mario. And major role player were you, Kyra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nupur. And with that, I would like to pass on the baton to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Naren.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Kahira. What an interesting meeting it was. I loved every bit of it. All the speeches were excellent. As they say, all good things come to an end. So is today's meeting. I adjourn this meeting for now. We shall meet again next week at the same time. See you all here. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naren, and the room is open for networking.